Boy, you people sure love your yaoi.
Yeah, I feel like we should address this.
Yeah, like
I feel like we need to have a talk.
Yeah, like guys.
Like, okay, our South Park vlogs average around like 30 views.
Yeah.
Our Tweak X Craig video,
as of this video recording,
as of right now, is up to about almost 800 views.
Like,
what's happening? Please, in the comments, explain how that happened.
Like, it's not like you're watching the episode. You're watching two assholes talk about the episode.
Yeah.
Do you really value our opinion that much? You want to see what we think of two boys falling in love?
And I assume it's just the same two people watching it 400 times each. Like,
yeah.
So please, tell us what's going on and how we can make that a thing for the other TV loves.
Do you want us to talk about Yaoi in the rest of the video?
Should I just put Yaoi as a tag in all of the videos?
Yeah, or was this just that good of an episode that every single vlog about it was that good? I mean, you know, it's just a shock, you know, we weren't expecting
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh my god.
Whatever, so this week, no Yaoi, but...
No Yaoi this week, but there is some gay stuff, so let's talk about this episode. What happens, Matt?
This is this week's South Park, Naughty Ninjas.
Naughty Ninjas, bad ninjas,
that sounds
naughty.
Like a slur, Naughty Ninjas.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Going down to South Park, gonna leave my woes behind.
So in this episode, it starts off with the cops getting called to South Park Elementary because PC principal called them or whatever. Don't laugh! Don't laugh yet. I'm getting to it. So they get called there, and you know they arrive, and they're like, "Okay, we'll take this side. We'll take this side. Officer Barbary, you take around the side." He's like, "Okay." So he goes on the side, and they all burst into the auditorium, and PC principal's called all the students there again. And as soon as they get there, he's like, "There she is, officer. That girl's name's Leslie. She's been running her mouth the entire time. This is what you get, Leslie. This is what you get."
Because every episode they're in the auditorium and he's like, "Shut your fucking mouth, Leslie!
Shut your fucking pie hole!" And then
he calls the cops on Leslie.
He puts a laser pointer and everything. There she is, officer. That one. And then Officer Barbary storms. He's like, "Oh, I'm up for trouble." PC principal turns around, points
the laser at his
like,
face.
"Oh my god!" And he shoots a Latino American kid in the arm, and then he gets called to the mayor's office, and they have a meeting. They're like, "You can't just go around shooting minorities. You're fired." So
they fire Barbary.
They fire Officer Barbary, and
it's all sad because he has a dog.
yeah, it's all sad because like because he goes home and he's like, "Hi, sweetheart, sorry, but they let me go." And he's talking like this really like sick old dog. He's like, "We're gonna have to find some other way to get you medicine because I just like helping people." I'm like, "Oh my god, this got really sad." So
meanwhile, Cartman is like, "Dude, they're gay."
And he's not talking.
And you think they're talking about Craig and Tweak.
But he's not. He's talking about Kenny and Token.
Kenny and Token.
Because apparently...
Kenny and Token.
Because they're dressing up as ninjas to protect Kenny's house because all these homeless people are in the Soda Sopa part of town. And so Kenny and Token are defending Kenny's house from these homeless people.
As ninjas.
Dressed up like ninjas and like shooting like Nerf darts at them or whatever. And then... Cartman takes...
It's weird because they have the crossbows with like the plunger ends on them, but then they also have real shurikens.
Yeah.
Like like stuck into like wood with like targets.
They probably still have those from the episode where they got the Japanese ninja weapons.
Yeah.
Back in like season whatever.
Who had the shurikens? I don't remember.
I think that was Kenny.
I think it was Kenny too.
I don't remember.
Because I know Cartman had
got stuck in Daughter's eye.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. What happened to that?
Can we go back to the episode at hand?
What happened? He had an eye patch for a while, right? And now he just has an eye again?
Can we get back to this episode?
Anyway, back to this episode.
Can we not talk about a 10-year-old episode and get back to this one?
I'm sorry, this one, yeah.
So anyway, Cartman takes them to see, like, "See, guys, see, they're guys make ninjas. Ninjas are super gay!" And then this couple other bit drives by. They see them dressed like ninjas. They think they're terrorists.
They think they're ISIS.
And they drive away all scared, and then all the boys are like, maybe ninjas are cool. So...
Yeah. And then Cartman makes this big thing about, like, Kyle said that ninjas were gay, but I didn't say that ninjas were gay.
But he totally said ninjas were gay.
But, like, he's saying it to Kyle because, like, they're all dressed up as ninjas so they can see their eyes. And, like, you can and, like, he's like, "All right, Stan, so Kyle said that ninjas were gay. But he's gonna tell you that I said ninjas were gay, but I didn't. I said they were totally cool, and then Kyle said they were gay. But I said it like a question. I said, are ninjas gay? Like with a question mark at the end of it?
I'm Kyle. He's like, right, I'm Butters.
He's like, right, I'm Token.
Anyway, so after the incident with Barbary, like, everybody hates the cops because they're like, you know, the cops are a bunch of
They just shoot minorities.
They just shoot minorities and
racist and
so
brutally.
And so basically, everybody in the town is like shitting on cops.
So basically, this entire episode is a Quentin Tarantino joke. If
Yeah,
you
because
follow
like
the news, Quentin Tarantino said some things about cops, and then all the cops gonna boycott him.
and also like that shit that's going around, like those videos on Facebook, like cops like harassing like minorities or whatever, and it's like
There was a video of like some like school cop.
yeah,
That like
there was more to that story than the video showed.
what I don't know what happened, but I just know that I saw.
I'll tell you later.
Like an 8-year-old getting like tackled by a cop. I was like, Jesus Christ.
First of all, she wasn't 8. Second of all, I'll tell you the
I mean, she was older than 8.
I'll tell you the whole story later.
No, please do. So videos, so
Okay,
that
so
other
the whole-
people know.
the whole-
Educate the people, Matt. That's why we're here.
Okay, fuck. The whole story. Listen up, kids. I'm gonna educate you. Last time you got Yaoi, this time you're getting learning. So what actually happened is that, like, what you saw in the video was like the police officer, like, basically harassing the.
Ripping her out of her chair and knocking the whole thing over.
Yeah. What actually happened is that, like, she was asked like several times to like leave or whatever. And then, like, she kept, like, disrespecting the cop and eventually not leaving, so eventually the cop basically had to drag her out there. Like, I don't fully agree
But,
with...
like, that was still excessive.
I don't agree with the excessive action the cop did.
Yeah.
But she's not fully innocent either.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I wasn't assuming she was,
No.
but, like,
So
that was still, like,
so that kind of started...
way more drastic.
So that kind of
than it
started the
should
whole
have been.
thing that, like, cops turned into, like, racist dickweeds when the camera's
And I mean,
rolling.
it's a school security officer, not a real cop. But
Whatever.
Like, And,
So-
but, like, that was still excessive. But anyway, back to South Park.
Back to the fake stuff. So,
Back to
basically
the
nobody,
fictional world.
nobody in this town is expecting cops are fucking just shitting on them, spray painting their cops,
Stands like we've only had a Whole Foods for like 3 weeks, and we already don't need cops.
and like
Sweet.
blaring "fuck the police" at them.
Fuck the police, come straight from.
Yeah.
I know the lyrics.
Anyway,
I don't know
so
the lyrics.
none of the cops are doing anything, and they're like, we might just turn. Nobody wants cops anyway. Just turn this place into a hula school. And then basically all the homeless become so much of a problem that
Because they're not in Sotosoba anymore. They're camping outside of Whole Foods.
They move outside to Shitipa Town, and they start like camping outside of Whole Foods and shit. And Randy can't walk anywhere, and he's like, "Hey, Mayor, what the fuck? Why are all these homeless here? I
comes out of Whole Foods
I
and he,
didn't
like-
bust my ass gentrifying this part of town so that it can be flooded with homeless people."
He comes out of Whole Foods, he like passes homeless folks, and he's just like, ew.
Ew, goddamn it!
God,
Ew.
no, I'm sorry, ew. And he's like, change. He's like, no, goddammit, ew.
And then they're like, well, there's gotta be a reason why all these homeless are here, and then they're like, it's ISIS! Because they're like,
ISIS.
all these kids are dressed up like terrorists!
Because they think that like the kids that are playing ninja are ISIS.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
So they're like, well, we need to go to the cops. We need their help in fighting ISIS. The cops don't give a shit because they're like, oh, so now you want our help? Well, guess what? Fuck you guys. We're gonna have a luau. So meanwhile, back with Cartman and all them, they're playing ninjas. Cartman's still trying to convince people that he wasn't the one who said ninjas were gay.
This is a big deal to Cartman.
Nobody's believing him, and then they are like, hey, we got an email from an actual ninja overseas, and they have a Skype call with him, and it's an actual, like, ISIS,
call
it's
with
an
an
actual
ISIS
ISIS leader.
Oh
And then
God.
Cartman's like, hey, would you guys have a problem with a Jew being among your ranks? And the ISIS leader's just like, yes, that'll be a very big problem. And then Cartman's like, yes, I fucking knew it! And he starts dancing and shit like that.
Real ninjas don't like Jews. I was made for this.
And then the townsfolk realize, well, if the regular cops are going to help us, you know, maybe we can get a cop who's not technically on the force. So they go to Officer Barbary, who has been kicked out of his home and is now among the homeless. And they're like, hey,
They're like
bud-
crouching over him.
He's like, hey,
buddy, how you doing?
we need you to shoot some
I need
kids.
you to shoot some kids.
He's like, I don't want to do that anymore. He's like, no, Barbary.
First he's like, are any of them minorities?
A few of them.
Few of them we think so, yes. Ah!
And he's like, Barbary, they're terrorists. It's different now. We need your help. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. So...
One of my favorite scenes is what's his name? I'm forgetting his name. The kid
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah,
His dad is like, he's like talking to him. He's like, I forget what he says. He's like, He's like, I've always been like a fair dad, but why? Why are you doing this? He's like, but I think it builds character. And he's like, but what do you believe in? And then
we believe in it. Higher force than on death. And the dad just runs up.
And if we follow the warrior's code, then we will achieve something greater than us. And he's like, ah!
Because everybody thinks they're ISIS, so then...
Because he thinks he's ISIS, and it's just like, those kind of conversations I think South Park do really well, when one person thinks that the conversation is about something.
They did that last time
the other one
with
is
the
something
Yaoi
else.
too.
Yeah, with the Yaoi, the same thing. They do that a lot.
Yeah, so then, Cartman tries to convince people that... who does he try to put the blame on that said ninjas were gay? Kyle, yeah. And so then...
And he has Kyle, like, tied up in a chair.
Yeah. And then
Kyle's like, I'm over here. And then he's like, then who's this? It's Clyde. Right, and I'm Token.
And so then they tie Cartman to a chair, and then Officer Barbrady just storms in and is like, I don't want to shoot you kids because I hate this town too, but can't just give them your belief. Like, he's fucking ready to shoot these kids. And then, meanwhile, Randy realizes that, oh shit.
Meanwhile, Randy's at the dinner table, and Stan's mom was like, he's over at Kenny's playing Ninja.
And he's like,
Ninja? That's gay.
And he realizes, wait, ISIS.
And then he looks left and right, and like you hear like
ninjas,
you hear like Arabian music, and then he looks the other way and you hear like Chinese music.
Scary,
gay,
scary, gay. Scary gay, scary gay, scary gay,
scary gay.
Stand! Randy, you're gay, scary gay, scary gay, scary gay, scary gay. And then he runs off. He's like, don't shoot them! They're being gay, not terrorists!
And he like tackles him and he shoots David in the arm.
He shoots David, he's another minority, and they take away his badge again. They're like, well, you guys told me to shoot him. He's like, yeah, because we thought they were terrorists, but they were actually ninjas. That's your job to realize that they're not terrorists. And so then they reinstate the other cops to get the homeless people out.
And they start beating up the minority.
And they start beating up the minority homeless people, and they realize, and they're like, well, we thought they were ISIS. No, they were just ninjas. Oh, that's gay. And then Cartman's like, see, I told you guys they were gay.
I fucking said ninjas were gay, but you didn't fucking believe me.
And then, meanwhile, at the very end, Officer Barbrady gets called on like
this is the quote-unquote post-credits.
Quote-unquote post-credits, but before the credits, whatever. It's like a Marvel post-credits scene, pretty much. So he's in this office, and he gets called in, this guy's there, he's like, Officer Barbrady, have you noticed some changes going on in this town? He's like, yeah, a lot actually. He's like, this is actually bigger than what you know. What do you know about a girl named Leslie? And he pulls up this picture of PC Principal pushing Leslie on a swing, and that's where the episode ends.
Boom! What
the fuck is going on?
Leslie!
So this
told you to shut your fucking mouth!
So this goes deeper than we thought.
Leslie's important now.
Leslie is either like PC Principal's daughter, or like some little girl that he's very close with, which begs the question of why he's always fucking telling her to shut up and why he almost got the cops to shoot her. This goes deeper. This goes deeper than what we think.
Something's up.
Something's up in this season, and we don't know what the fuck it is. It has something to do with PC Principal and Leslie. Something's going on. The town's changing. Something's trying to destroy it. Barbrady's gonna be important. I don't know what's going on.
I've never felt more X-Files from South Park.
Yeah, no, like
Jesus,
shit.
What kind of mad conspiracy is happening?
Yeah,
right
I think it's because the show doesn't normally do this stuff. That's why this is such like a big like wham.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, so.
Oh my god.
Fucking pros, man.
Fucking pros.
That ending.
Ninjas are gay.
Ninjas are gay.
That ending is a big plus.
That ending is a big plus.
Unless it doesn't pay off, then I'm gonna be really pissed off.
Yeah, in which case. I like how the Leslie guy has been just deteriorating to the point where she doesn't even need to say anything. He's yelling at her, and then he tries to like get the shot.
That was like my favorite. Just the beginning of the episode, all the cops coming in, and she's like, "He's right there." She's been fucking. She thinks talking to her friends is more important than learning about third world countries.
Oh wow! God. And I really liked. Like you said, you don't give a shit about Barbrady, but like. This episode made me give a shit.
Are you gonna talk about how you like the mushy gushy stuff in the South Park?
Okay, fuck you, okay? That was some sad shit going on with Barbrady. Like, that was like Barbrady, okay, he hasn't done shit.
I thought it was more of like a funny sad than like an actual sad.
Like, it turned into funny stuff, but that part where he's like talking to his dog about like, we're gonna find a way to get him education.
They played it off like it was his wife, and then it's like...
Yeah, but that was like legit sad.
Yeah.
That was legit sad. It turned into funny sad, which I'm glad for, because I didn't want to be depressed the entire South Park episode. That part was actual sad though.
Yeah.
but like Barbara hasn't done shit in like years. Like in more
It's been like 10 years since Barb Brady was relevant.
In more recent years, anytime they needed a cop, they use like the rest of the cops pretty much.
Yeah, they
like,
go to like the ginger cops. That took over.
anyone but Barb Brady. So I'm glad that they bring him back and give him relevance again.
Yeah.
Because like he's like he said, he's been there since the beginning. Like he was one of the original.
He was the only cop in South Park until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says that in the episode.
Yeah.
I was the only cop in South Park until a few years ago. He's not wrong. So I liked all that stuff.
He wasn't a good cop, but I mean, he was the only one.
What do you got?
Ninjas are gay.
Ninjas are gay.
I like that Cartman is on this thing this whole episode because it's such a Cartman thing to do. Like my favorite parts are when like they find him out and they're like, "That's not Kyle," and it's like, "Oh, I'm Token," and it's like you're the one person that looks like they should in a ninja. You're the biggest fucking fat shit.
It's kind of like it's kind of the same joke they did in the first.
And
like,
we should also mention that Butters, like, because he has the head brace thing.
Oh yeah, he has his head brace
over
top.
his ninja mask, and it's awesome.
They kind of did the same joke in like the first Coon episode of like when Mysterion takes off his mask and they're like, "Oh my god, it's you!" But like his face is the exact same as everybody else's.
Yeah.
So you have no idea who it is. Like I like when they do that. Like when
It's Kenny.
I know it's Kenny, but you
yeah.
didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't reveal who it was. They were just like, "Oh, it's you," but like all their faces.
Then it was
look
like the
same.
second and third Coon episode. They were like, "It's Kenny."
Man, the Coon episodes were good.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites.
Those are my
Anyway,
favorites too.
cons.
Besides Craig X Week.
Cons. What do you got?
Cons?
Cons.
Oh, jeez.
I was kind of.
I have a con for myself, for my own ignorance as to what ISIS was until a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I had to tell him because he like read something.
Like,
and
no, okay, like, because I don't, like, pay attention to the news that much.
Neither do I, but I still know
Like,
fucking
but,
ISIS.
like,
is.
especially news that happens, like, outside of, like, our country. So, like,
You're not making yourself sound good.
I know! The only exposure I had to ISIS was Archer. So I actually thought that's what ISIS was the Archer TV show.
Apparently they're changing the name of the agency in Archer because of what's happened with ISIS.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, I actually thought that, like, Archer was what ISIS was.
No, dumbass.
I thought it was some kind of American security agency.
It was, and then ISIS like became real.
Oh, jeez.
So they had like technically Archer ISIS came first, but
Okay.
you know, I'm sure that the
So
fucking
did they steal the name from Archer?
yeah,
or,
I'm
like-
sure the terrorists are watching fucking American TV and are like, oh, ISIS, this is a good name for a terrorist organization.
Yeah. So like no, like that's what I actually thought it was until
Yeah,
I
and
was
then I had
like,
to fucking
until
tell you.
I started seeing things on Facebook like ISIS kills like 3 gay people by throwing them off a building in like Afghanistan. I'm like, what the fuck is this about, Archer? What are you doing? So,
Yeah, you guys didn't talk about this shit in history class?
no.
Oh, we did.
When did you have history? You're like 12, so like I mean like my history class was like Nazis and stuff that already
Yeah,
happened.
like we
not,
had
like,
that too,
ISIS.
and then we also talked about like current event. Well, it wasn't really. It wasn't.
I
It
didn't
wasn't.
talk
It
about
wasn't a history class. It was a current events class.
Oh, well, I
Like
didn't
talking
take
about
current
like
events
headlines
class.
and news. That's what I had.
My history class
It was
never,
basically a
my
history
history
class.
class has never dealt with current events.
Anyway, one of the things that I kind of wish they did that I thought they were gonna tackle the kid that made a clock and they thought it was a bomb.
Yeah.
I thought that they were gonna barge into school and they were gonna see like a kid that had a clock and they're like, it's a bomb. I thought they were gonna do that, but they didn't. But I'm fine with how they went with it. I don't really have a lot of other cons for this episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
The Garrison as president thing has not come back
Yeah,
yet.
that was bring Garrison back, damn it.
I'm sure they will at some point. I mean,
He's running for president, damn you.
well, now we have this whole like fucking conspiracy Illuminati X-Files thing going on with Leslie.
Jeez.
Leslie and PC Principal. What the fuck?
I will say that if that doesn't pay off, that will become a con for me.
It's gotta pay off.
It has to,
It
otherwise
has
I'm
to
gonna
pay
be
off.
upset.
Because, you know, I wonder if they planned this from the beginning or if they just kind of like, let's just fucking make a conspiracy out of this. Why not?
Yeah, I hope it's not one of those things where they just like at last minute were like, let's do this.
I
and
can
then,
see
like,
it go
never
either
do
way
it.
because considering how fast I write these episodes, I could see
Yeah.
them realistically being like, we just came up with this at the last minute, but we're just building this plot as it goes along and it turns out to be brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they've done it before, so.
yeah, so it could work. So, yeah.
Anyway, that does it for this episode.
Oh.
Please like, comment, subscribe. 900 views I want for this one.
Yeah, like, shit, guys. Like, thanks for watching. Really. Christ.
There was no Craig and Tweak in this episode, but
They mentioned them once. They mentioned Craig and Cartman. They start calling like ninjas being gay, and Cartman's like, "Oh my god, I would never say something homophobic about the way Craig and Tweak make love."
No, he said Clyde and Token.
I thought he said Craig and
Or
Tweak.
Kenny and Token make love.
Whatever, fuck it,
Yeah.
whatever.
I don't think he said Tweak and Craig. But anyway.
Later.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Going down to South Park, gonna leave my woes behind.
And we're parking on that, people spouting howdy neighbor.
Heading on up.
Boy, you people sure love your yaoi.